Today we're going to work through industry chart lists, or in other words, how to make money using technicals. One of the things that happens when you use technical analysis is you're either looking for very strong stocks or weak stocks that are reversing, but middle of the road stocks don't really outperform the index. So we're looking to find either, if you're the kind of person who likes to buy stuff on sale and hold it through difficult periods, there's a way to do that. And then there's also people who are looking for breakouts to new highs or strong stocks setting up to break out to new highs. So we're going to cover off both of those today and show you how to work through these industry chart lists. I continually get requests for, Greg, can you go through your favorite gold stocks, or can you go through your favorite oil stocks? Can you show me the strongest stocks in the oil services sector? Can you show me the strongest stocks in the marijuana sector? What we want to do is to organize our chart list so we can do that. And the second component to that is then once we have the chart list made up, then continue to massage it and work with it. So let's go ahead and we're going to create an industry list to work with. Then we're going to sort it. I'm going to show you how to clear the sort and start again so that each week, anytime you want to use it, you'll just continue to look through the sort order and be able to reset them. But more importantly, you want to find strong stocks or stocks setting up for reversals, and then obviously how to scan, comment, and save. So when we do all of that, this is going to take roughly a half an hour to kind of work through it all, but we'll see how that process goes. So first of all, you're just in a general chart. This is Shopify. It's one of the strongest stocks right now. What I want to do is I'm going to go and create a stock, a chart list. So I'm going to go to the Members tab. And we don't want to do a whole bunch of manual work here. So we want to go into the Advanced Scan Workbench. And we're not going to make this difficult at all. We're going to use some predefined stuff here. So we're going to go in and under sectors, we're going to pick the U.S. sectors. We're going to choose something, so we could go and do oil and gas, or we could go do the gold stocks. So let's just do gold mining stocks and add that. So group is gold mining, and then we would say or. And we'd go down and get the Canadian sector if you wanted it, and we would do the same thing there. So we would go in here and just trying to grab material sectors. We could either do mining or we can do precious metals. Either way you can do this now. So the group is either gold mining in the US or group is Canadian precious metals. And then we check the syntax and make sure everything's okay. And then we run the scan. And this scan is going to create a lot of stocks. We got 304, and obviously that's a big list of stocks to work with. But we're going to take those and we're going to store those results in a new chart list. Now for me, I have all my chart lists saved at a certain place on my list of stocks. So all of my industry stocks go together here. So I'm going to call this 6010, and because it's for gold, I go hyphen and then I put a G at the front, so they're sorted alphabetically by industry. And then I'm going to say gold mining demo. And it's only fitting that we could call it gold mining demo as we're looking to find strong stocks. So anyway, we're going to go and create this list. Now, what we see in this list, just to show you as it pops up, is here are all my chart lists. And on this chart list, you can sort them by any particular thing. So I've used this alphabetical character here to sort. And then forestry stocks, gambling, gold mining, and here's my other gold one. So I've already set these up a couple of times, but we're going to do it again today. So anyway, this is the gold mining demo that we're working with. Now what we want to do is we want to find the strongest stocks. Now there's a couple of different ways to do it, but one of the things I like to look for is volume. I don't like low-priced stocks, so I typically want to stay with the bigger stocks at the top, and then I want to put the scooters next. So what you should find is your scooter ranking shows up all the way down here. And we continue to scroll, and now we get, very low scooter ranking. So these are terrible stocks, terrible price action on these stocks. The company might be great, but they're out of favor right now. And then we have all of these stocks that don't have a scooter ranking. So they could be either on an exchange that doesn't pick it up, or it could be because they have they're on the venture exchange or whatever in Canada, and so they're a little bit smaller stocks. So with all of those, if they don't have a scooter listing, then we're not going to focus on them too much. Now, I've put them here, though, so you could look over. Here's a stock with 238,000 shares today. It's $15 stock. This is listed in the U.S. Now, it's also listed in Canada up farther, and it has a scooter there. But as we look through these, some of these might be great stocks. They just don't have a scooter symbol. So if you want, we can keep them. Down here, we have a lot of the penny stocks, obviously. And if you don't want the penny stocks, then what we would do is we could actually modify our scan and just say, don't show me any stocks, whatever. Let's pick a number. These are all $1, but that seems pretty low to me. Anyway, let's just pick a $3 cutoff. So the price has to be at least $3 to get on the scale. And so the way we would do that again is we're going to go back to our technical scan and close is greater than $3. So now that we've got that set up, we're going to check our syntax, make sure I haven't spelled anything there. Mismatched square brackets, that's true, because you have to use the square brackets here. You can't use the curly ones. So let's check our syntax again and see if that's going to work. There we go. And now we're going to run that sort. Okay, so what we want to do is go see our scan results, and available actions are replace an existing chart list with these results. So we're going to go in and first of all, let's see how many. We got 69 stocks. That's enough to work with. So replace an existing chart list with these results. And again, we're going to go down to our number 6010 here, and here's our gold mining demo, and we're going to put those in. So we're going to say okay. That little box that showed up there that said preserve sort order, what that would do is it would actually number everything in the order they were shown up originally. What I want to do is I want to control that sort order. So I'm going to select volume first, close, and then the scooter ranking. So the scooter ranking again puts the top stocks at the beginning and works your way down the list. So this is weaker and weaker price action. Again, the scooter says this stock is behaving better than 97.4% of the stocks it's being compared to. Now it's on the Toronto Stock Exchange because it's .to, so it's being compared to Toronto. If we have a stock in here like this BVN, this one is being compared to the US indexes. So just to make sure, and if you ever want to see what it's being compared to, you can put this in here, and that puts the universe that it's being compared on. And then you can also check different market cap sizes if you want. So this says mid cap and large cap and that kind of thing. So by turning on the U, it helps you see that kind of stuff. Anyway, the bottom line is now we have the stocks in an order we like. They're saved in this gold mining demo. And what we want to do is we want to edit this list. And the reason we want to edit is because we want to save this sort order. If I immediately go to look at this stock right now and click on 10 per page, it's not going to come up in the same order. It's going to come up alphabetically. So that isn't what we want. So let's go back to summary. And again, this isn't hard. You get used to doing it quite a bit. But here, click on volume, click on the close to get the higher priced ones up at the bottom if they don't have a scooter, and then click on the scooter. And that's the order we want to save. So now we're going to go scroll down to the bottom of this list. And the way I do that is hit function and the right arrow button. And it just takes me right to the bottom, and there's a big button here that says number in sorted order. With that number sorted order, we put this in and hit OK. And now what it's done is it's added this single number to the front end of all of these. So by doing that, we've taken and we've created the strongest stocks are going to show up first, and now we can go look at those stocks. So let me just add one little thing here. I'm just going to add pinpoint, which gives me a larger arrow so you can see. Oh, there we go. Toggle on. Okay, so now I've got the big arrow. That'll make it easier to follow my cursor. Okay, with this now, so we have them set up in our sort order based on scooter, and then below the scooter rankings, anything that had a large price will show up first, and obviously volume. So here's one with a price of $19, but a volume of 250 shares. Not sure you really want to look at that, but whatever. Endeavour Gold Mining is also listed in Canada. So if we go up here, here's Endeavour Mining Corp up here. Anyway, with all of that, we've put together our list of stocks that we want to consider. So what I like to do now is I like to go to 10 per page, or you could go to Candle Glance View. And Candle Glance View is going to take whatever you have set up as your Candle Glance style and show it. So I like to have the scooter ranking in there. And so the scooter on this stock is up around 97.4. So this China Gold is obviously doing pretty well. This North American Palladium is kind of rolling over a little bit, but continuing to be one of the better performing stocks. Here's Kirkland Lake Gold. So it's trying to break out to new highs again. And this stock's frustrated many an investor because it's been up here and then it keeps weakening. Here's Turquoise Hill, just turning back above 75, which is one of the places I like to look for. And then we have B2 Gold Corp, Altius Minerals, and you can see these are okay, but again, they haven't done anything in a while, and that's because gold hasn't done anything for a while. But the intent of this episode or this show is to explain how to do this. So whenever you want to start looking at gold stocks, you're ready, or oil stocks, or marijuana stocks, or whatever stocks you want to create a list for, biotechs, anything you want to look at. So we see that all of these stocks are sitting here, and this price action's been sideways for months. Here's Endeavour, just the one that we pointed out because that low volume in the US side. It's trying to get back through its 200-day moving average. And we could just keep searching. So let's go right down to the bottom here. Here's Franco Nevada, and you can see that's been on a bit of a downtrend. AngloGold Ashanti. Anyway, as we continue to work through these stocks, let's go find some oversold ones just to show you. So when the scooter's really weak, these stocks are making new 52-week lows or whatever. So we could click on any one of these and take a look. So here's Agnico Eagle Mines, the US listing, and what we see is it's working down in the bottom right-hand corner of the chart. That's not very bullish, and the scooter ranking is at 10%. So that tells us clearly that this is kind of not a great stock. But if we go look, rather than Candle Glance View, we just hit View All when we're looking at a chart, or on this drop-down menu is where we first pick Candle Glance. We can go and we can pick 10 per page. And I like 10 per page or chart book, whichever you prefer. But on 10 per page, you can just literally go through here and look at all of these charts. So here's this China Gold International Resources, and it's heading up to the right here. It's broken above this 255 base and looks pretty good to me. Here's North American Palladium, a general upslope, but again, not really doing anything. Here's Kirkland Lake Gold pushing into the top right-hand corner of the chart. That's pretty bullish. So we like to see that. Turquoise Hill. Lots of volume showing up recently. 8 million shares. Don't know if they were selling into the rally or whatever, but lots of volume coming out to work. And you can see that there's a horizontal level here at 430. So if you ever want to edit these, you can just literally click on the stock. It takes you right into Sharp Chart View. And let's draw a line, a horizontal line at 430. And we're going to just make it solid, and we're going to make it red. And we're going to update the chart. So we've put that on here, and you can see that this is a pretty good support and resistance line on this chart, and price is approaching it. So now perhaps it's a difficult place to enter because so far it's been folded back at that level going back to last March. And here it got 20 cents above it and rolled right back over and fell down. It is above its 200-day moving average, and it is, there's been lots of volume hitting this stock lately. So maybe something better is going on there, but at least you've got it all set up. Okay, so now that we've done that, we have to save that change. And there's two ways to do this. We can either just hit the back button a few times to go back to see it in the 10 per page view. And by the way, just on this, if you click here, you can change any name on here that you want. So if a stock got a new name or something like that, or change their name, you can just go in here and edit that. So those are options. And then over here, you could also hit the annotate button in here. So I've got auto size charts set up, and what that means is it's automatically going to fill the page for me with these charts. So that's why the annotate button doesn't work. But we're just going to stay with this full screen mode just so you can see. So anyway, a lot of these have the chart up in the top right hand corner. A lot of these are Canadian listings, and what you see is the scooter ranking doesn't look nearly as promising, and that's because so many charts are weak in Canada that these stocks are still behaving as some of the better stocks, but the oil stocks are out of favor, the bank stocks have been pulling back, and the mining stocks in general have been not doing so great. So here's LTS Minerals, and it looks like it's trying to roll over here with a negative MACD, so you probably don't want to look at that one. Here's a really nice one. This is Lundin Gold, and it's breaking out above its 200-day moving average for the first time, and you can see that line has been very good support or resistance. So going back to last May, it was support, fell through, and then it was resistance ever since. And today it's finally perking up, and perhaps there's something going on here because we had a nice big volume burst or price burst a couple of months back, and now it's starting to resume its uptrend after consolidating sideways. MACD is right at 0. This is a very nice place to look for a chart to turn up, and you could set your stop very tight at $5. So this is an example of how to set that up. So let's just say that you liked all that. That's all very good. Let's go back into editing the charts. And again, from there, I want you to pick the charts you like. You can either save them into a watch list, which would just be another chart list, or you could keep working in this list all the time, and then maybe if you decide to buy one, you put it into your current stock list. Okay, so now we've got all of these stocks listed, and we've been through to see a few of the top performers. But the second component of this is that we want to take these, and now we need to get rid of these numbers, and times have changed, and whatever. We want to sort it differently, whatever. So we're going to go into the edit list. And in edit list, you can either check this box here at the top, or again, hitting function and the arrow key, you can go all the way to the bottom, and you can select all down here. And what we can do is, we don't want to copy this, we don't want to move it, we don't want to merge it into something else. We want to remove the numbers from the front of these. And so this button here removes those numbers. When we do that, you'll see that it physically stripped all the numbers off, and now we can go back, and I'm going to pick a different sort order just to show you that we could sort these stocks differently. So we want them to be scooter first, close next, and volume next. So we've got the weakest scooter rankings because we've got it ranked down, but the highest volume. And so anyway, we've just picked a different sort order. But again, you're in summary mode. And so the important thing to think about is when you're in edit mode, you just want to remove the numbers from the name. But when you're in summary mode, you can do a bunch of sorting. So let me show you this. When you're in the edit mode, there is no other fields here to sort by, so you can't sort. The only thing you have to go to edit field for is to get rid of these numbers on all of the stocks. Going back to the summary page, okay, we're sorted by volume, highest first. So we could sort by scooter, highest scooter first, and then just go straight to volume, whatever you want. But the point is, let's just try a different sort order, and you can see these gold stocks aren't having a good day. You can also change this and look and say what's going on for the last week, and some of these are doing better. But the big point is, if we want to save these again in a new sort order, we're in summary mode. We've now figured out the sort order we want, and we're going to use that function and arrow key, zap to the bottom, and we're going to number this in sorted order. By doing that, we've created these numbers again, and now Barrick Gold, even though it's alphabetically the first, it's also showing up as the best performer because it has the highest volume, which was our number one sorting criteria. So whatever I clicked last for my sort is important. So I clicked scooter first, and then I picked volume. Well, it doesn't really care what the scooter is, but if two stocks had the same volume, it would pick the one with the strongest volume, and then it would pick the next strongest volume. But the idea behind organizing your sort is that it'll show up better when you go look at 10 per page. So again, now we've put these numbers on here. They're in a different order than they were before, and we can go to 10 per page. So we go look, and this one looks a little bit out of favor. Remember, the scooter ranking was 4. That's probably appropriate. This stock doesn't have much momentum to the upside. Here's Kinross, and again, we're sorting by volume, so it's volume that's the criteria here, and I don't recommend buying stocks based on just volume, but the point is to show you how to sort things differently each time. Okay, so with that, I've shown this over and over. Now what I'd like to do is go and do the same thing with a different group of stocks. So here's forestry stocks as an example, and this is all set up, and we've got about 30 stocks in this group, or less than 30 because there's only 3. But 2 things we can do here. We can go look at 10 per page, or we can go look at RRG. So when we have a small list of stocks, we can populate an RRG chart. And the problem is, obviously, this is murky, so we can hit fit or max, and then it will try to move them all in. So let's just say we want to see the stuff that's either starting to break out or has already broken out. So we can either just click on these one at a time, and it'll just highlight that one particular stock, or we can look through these. So it all depends how you do it. If you remove the check mark, obviously it's going to get rid of all of the stocks that have that showing, and so we're just making them invisible. And I still have this line highlighted, but we can just kind of zoom in here, and we can center this. But the easiest way to look at all of these is just to clear off the ones you don't want to see, whatever's making it more difficult for you to clear it out. And we want to see stocks turning up and to the right. So a lot of these are doing that right now here. OSB is a big one, Norbord. And so you could see that the stock is starting to return to strength. And this is based on 1-year weeklies. So we have the ability to do that when we go look at a stock list. But let's go back to the sort function. And again, we don't have any sort order on here. So let's sort it by volume. Highest volume first, then sort it by highest close, and then sort it by scooter. So now what's going to happen is any stocks that don't have a scooter ranking are going to show with the highest price next. Again, we're still fine. This is all going to sort. Okay, so we have these stocks set up here, and a lot of these stocks have a scooter ranking above 90, just as an example. So we're expecting some pretty strong stocks in here. But we don't have them sorted in this order, so if we immediately go look again at 10 per page, this RFP stock over here on the left isn't going to be the first one to show up. And the reason is because it's going to show up alphabetically because we haven't controlled the sort order. So we want to go back, and we want to go into summary, whatever, pick our volume, pick the close if you want, or just pick scooter. And so we're going to sort them by scooter ranking, and if they happen to have identical scooters, then it would obviously sort it by volume next. So that's fine. We've got all of this listed, and now what we can do is we can just scroll down here to the bottom and number in sorted order, and we would say okay. Now this is making a hard change on our sort list, but again, we can put them on, and to take them off, we would just go into Edit List, and we would select them all, and we would scroll to the bottom and say remove these numbers. Okay, so hopefully I've made that very clear on how to add numbers, sort numbers, remove numbers. The goal here is to make it so that it's very easy for you to find the strongest stocks in the area. You don't really need to know the names of all the stocks. Once you find which ones are strongest, then perhaps you might want to know the names of them and go and do a little bit more research. But for the most part, we're doing what we call behavioral investing. We're watching to see which ones are the strongest stocks based on other investors, and that those are the ones that they want. So those are probably the ones that we want too. Anyway, with that, we've created this list, and now we can go look at these stocks in the order. Uh, we've controlled the sort order, so it's obviously not alphabetical, and we've got these different looks on the stocks that we can kind of watch for. So here's one, Conifex Timber, and it just continues to rise up. Here's the forestry ETF called Wood. That one, Wood, keep climbing, looks pretty good. Here's Canfor Forest Products. And you can see this one's been up and to the right for a while now. Scooter ranking jumped up here to 75. It stayed pinned near the top for a while. So this stock was $17 a year ago and has jumped up to 31. So it's up almost a double in about a year. So pretty nice. Okay, clicking back takes us back to this other mode, and here's Capstone Paper and Packaging Corp, and this gapped up. This looks like a buyout, so there's a delete button up here at the top, and you could just hit that, and now it's no longer in my list. Okay, with that, I hope I've explained how to do the sorting of your lists, and so you're not waiting for somebody to kind of show you which are the strongest stocks in a group anymore. You know how to do that with your StockCharts membership. So with that, I want to thank you for taking the time to join me. Let's just go back and make sure that I've cleared off everything that we wanted to cover off on that keynote. So create an industry list to work with. I showed you how to go get those gold stocks with the advanced scan engine, how to sort an industry list, how to clear the sort and start again. And again, find the strong stocks, and then you could scan them like we did with that industry sort, where we went and we looked for all stocks above $3. You could put whatever scan parameters in there you want. And if you wanted to, you could comment on them or save them by using the annotation tool. So thanks everybody for taking the time to join me. Hopefully that was an instructive part for you and gives you a clue or some help on how to work with your stock lists. Thanks for taking the time to join me. Bye-bye.